You've been thinking about moving to Florida for 2 years, maybe longer. You've watched the videos, you've done the research, you told yourself someday. Today, you found me. And this might be the one that actually gets you moving.
I've moved more times than I can count. 20 years in the Navy will do that to you. Boston, San Diego, Japan, Chicago, and plenty other duty stations. Someone else picked the date, paid the bill, packed the truck. All I did was just show up. But there was one move that was different. As I sat in my empty Chicago house, I began to realize no one told me to do this. There were no orders. My wife and I chose to do this. And once that moving truck pulled away from the curb, there was no taking it back. This is our story of how we burned the boats and moved to Florida. My wife and I had talked about moving to Florida for years. We had family here, and we wanted to be closer to them so we could actually be part of their lives as they grew up. We wanted to see them more than just holidays and some random Facebook posts. For a long time, that's all it was. A someday plan. In the next couple of years, we'd say. Just like everybody else who doesn't want to commit. Then the spring of 2025 came. Two things lined up at once. Our whole base had peaked. The kind of market you don't see twice in a decade. And the Chicago real estate market was a lot slower and my business was a little bit more difficult. I looked at those two facts side by side and I said, this is our window. This is the time. If I wait for someday so everything's perfect, I might wait and that window might close. We stopped saying someday and said, now is the time. Let's do it.
Here's what made the move different than any other one. In the Navy, it was never a choice. It was orders. The government paid for it. It was a date on a piece of paper, and you showed up. No matter how hard the move was, it was never really a risk because on the other end, there was always a paycheck waiting, a command that was ready to welcome me and put me to work. This time, there were no orders. I'm a real estate agent. That meant moving to Florida means starting all over again from zero. No client base. I don't really know anyone here in Florida, and I didn't know the market. After 14 years of building my business in the Chicagoland area, I had to start all over again from zero in a state where nobody knew my name. I'm not going to pretend that was an easy decision. Starting over after 14 years is its own kind of risk, the kind that no order from the Navy ever exposed me to. Once we committed, the real work started. And the real work was getting rid of so much stuff that we had accumulated over the years. Stuff we didn't want to pay to move. Stuff we didn't really need. You know, there are no basements in Florida. And we had a basement in Chicago, and it was full of stuff that we accumulated but no longer needed. We had garage sales. We donated stuff. We gave stuff away. In our neighborhood, if you put something out the night before trash day, it's typically gone by morning before the trashmen ever get there. I made more trips to the county hazmat disposal place than I care to admit, just trying to get rid of things the right way. No matter how much we cleared out, there was always more. Every closet we cleaned out seemed to reveal even more stuff. Hey, if any of this sounds familiar, if you've got a someday plan sitting in the back of your mind, or you're thinking about what it would take to make a move like this, reach out and give me a call. That's what I'm here for. Just drop me a comment down below and tell me where you're at. I read every single comment. And that's what this channel exists, to be able to help people just like you. I can help. Just let me know how. Here's something that almost nobody talks about honestly when it comes to relocating. We couldn't buy a house when we got there. We needed to rent. I knew this was coming because I had run into this before. I'm self-employed as a real estate agent. That means all my sales history, 14 years of it, gets left behind in my last state. And it means absolutely nothing to a Florida lender. No local track record. No income they could verify the way they like to see it. Even though we had just sold our home, had the means to buy, and an exceptional credit score. It didn't matter. Renting is the responsible move while I rebuild my business and get myself reestablished. If you're self-employed and thinking about to make a move like this, I need you to hear me. This isn't about finding just the right house. It's about whether a lender will believe your income before you prove it in your new state. That's a conversation you need to have early so that you don't fall in love with a home you can't finance. Now, if you're self employed like me, that's a real hurdle. Lenders want to see a track record they can verify, and moving to a fresh new state doesn't give them that. But maybe that's not you. Maybe you're transferring with your company, or you're retired and have a steady pension, or you just sold a home up north and you've got cash in hand. If that's your situation, this obstacle is not yours to worry about. Lenders love predictable income, and cash buyers are always welcome. Right now, Sarasota is actually leaning towards buyers. Inventory is up, prices have softened from their peaks, and there's real room to negotiate. That's the market we have today. So, whatever your financial picture is, the big question isn't whether you can make the trip, it's whether you're ready to. When moving day came, and it's never just one day, the packers showed up first. Their entire job is to pack your stuff. They have no emotional attachments to anything you own. They'll pack your trash if you're not careful. The trick is to keep everything that you might need or want to take with you out of their reach, or it disappears into a box. Hey, here's a quick story. During one of my Navy moves, the movers packed my snow shovels. We were going to Hawaii. Nobody needs snow shovels in Hawaii. Secretly, I know they think it was funny, and it is until you unpack snow shovels in Hawaii. That's the thing about packers. They don't think, they just pack. That's their job. That's their purpose. That's their mission in life. Then the movers came, typically 3 to 5 guys, led by a grizzly foreman who can fit your entire house into a moving truck like a puzzle he solved 1,000 times before. I signed the paperwork that inventoried 98% of everything we own, and it was done. The movers pulled away. The house was empty. It was no longer ours. Not really. After 10 years, it was just another empty house. And frankly, what I felt in that empty house wasn't relief, it was sadness. I love that house. I love the life we built in it. The good, the bad, the not so perfect. All of it. Because it was ours. It was the longest I'd lived someplace since I left home at 22. But underneath the sadness, I knew it was the point of no return. We just couldn't change our minds anymore. There was no furniture to go back to, no version of staying, just an empty house and a decision we had already made real. The next morning, we started our drive to Florida. Our 2 Yorkies, Izzy and Nilla, riding shotgun as Laura and I each drove a car south on I-94. We passed the sign leaving Illinois at a high rate of speed. But when we hit the Florida State Welcome sign, we absolutely stopped and took pictures. We were excited to be in our new home state and excited to actually begin our new lives. We got the keys to our new place, and not long after, our movers showed up with everything we owned. And then we started to unpack. It took weeks to unpack. Honestly, there's still a couple of boxes in the garage we haven't unpacked yet. Was it worth it? Absolutely. The pain, the struggle, the cost, all of it. Our life is better here, and it keeps getting better as we build our business, grow our network, and get to know the community. Here's something I didn't fully appreciate until my mentors pointed it out to me. They gave me a lot of credit for actually making the move because most people only dream about it. For a long time, I really didn't value that. To me, this wasn't some terrifying leap. 20 years in the Navy had taught me how to do hard moves. I just didn't realize the same skill would be needed beyond the Navy. What felt like a major obstacle to so many people, to me, just felt like another stepping stone. If you're sitting where we were, saying someday instead of setting a date, I'd encourage you to take the leap you've been dreaming of, no matter what it is. It's never as scary as you imagine, and it's as great as you can make it. And if a move to the Sarasota area is in your future, that's exactly what I do, help people make that move. Subscribe to follow the rest of this journey and reach out when you're ready to stop dreaming and start getting into action. I'm James Tiernan from Home 941, powered by LPT. I'll see you on the next one.